Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Elena Whitham, another failed Canadian politician who decided to come to Scotland and have a go, has been made the minister in charge of, shall we say, product. Yeah, very addictive products that you buy on the street. And she's been pushing forward for these user rooms in Scotland, and they've got one in Glasgow, consumption room they call them. And she's been sort of banging the drum for this, and one place is being built, it's being designed, it's being done, and she's now saying it will be ready before summer next year. I'm sure this will bring her great relief. It gives her, I think, somewhere to go when she's busy doing what she does. Obviously, she's got to be on something. Indeed, most of the SNP have got to be on something when you look at their policies. They're not the policies of people with a sober mind. But we'll take a quick look at this to see why it is a problem. Maybe it's good. Who knows? We'll just take a look at this, but we'll see why she seems so enthusiastic about the idea of having somewhere to go to get off your head. Here goes. So Glasgow's consumption room could be in action by next summer, says Happy Minister. The controversial facility could be on track to welcome addicts as early as summer 2024, but only after a really robust community consultation. Now, what they mean by that is we're going to call it a really robust community consultation to give the impression that we're actually going to go out there and listen to what people in that area really think and then act accordingly on their wishes. And should they every single one of them say no, they don't want it, it's a bad idea, we're just going to ignore them and open it anyway. Let's be honest, that's the plan. That's what they're going to do. They just give it titles like, community correspondence and things like that. But they're not going to listen. They'll be there as people talk, but nothing will go in because the decision's already been made. They're not going to go back on it because they're never wrong. And for them to change their mind would indicate that maybe they were. So they're never going to change their mind, are they? Really robust. My arse. Anyway, the UK's first consumption room could be open by next summer. The Scottish Government's policy minister has said, happy policy. Call it the happy policy. YouTube doesn't like use of that word overly in context. Elena Whitham said that there will be a really robust consultation with people who live near the facility in Glasgow after concerns were raised about the impact on the local East End community. Yeah, because if you're actually making a place where these zombies will coalesce, you're just bringing a problem into an area. Now, of course, we know the problem probably exists in the area as it is, but you're centralising it, you're concentrating it in one area. It will lead to problems. It will undoubtedly lead to massive problems for the local community, rather than these stoners and whatever and wasters doing it in their own sort of squats and terrible places where they'll get away and shit themselves or whatever they do. Now they're going to be all milling around like the Walking Dead, waiting for their turn to get into the pleasure palace. The plans for a safe consumption room on Hunter Street were approved by NHS and council officials back in September. Controversy ensued as critics said the move is part of the Scottish Government's cult of low expectation when it comes to addressing the deaths crisis from these products. It was Scotland's Lord Advocate Dorothy Bain, KC, a woman who should not be in the Cabinet as she is head of the judiciary, who gave the scheme the green light with the verdict that it would not be in the public interest to prosecute users of such a facility. They're breaking the law. And so Dorothy Bain is saying, okay, some laws can be broken in context. If you're allowing some laws to be broken, then the law is not universal to all. And that's a problem that they've got to answer. How can some laws be less law-y than others? How can some people break the law by doing something and other people not break the law by doing exactly the same thing? It seems at odds with the principle of a balanced and fair justice system. The Hunter Street Centre already provides an H-assisted treatment service. Miss Whitham, who must be on something I don't know, possibly H, maybe, allegedly, was asked about the consumption rooms as part plans as she opened a new forensic lab for toxicology work on Wednesday. That's to make sure that none of the SNP are ever caught with products in their bloodstream should they ever be arrested. Not that the police would ever do anything, of course, what with the police being in the pocket of the SNP. She told the PA news agency, there's actually a project board that's been set up to deliver that. We're hoping it will be up and running by the summertime. Have you just not done the harder thing, but the better thing, which is to clamp down on the problem in the first place, rather than just making it easier for those with a problem to blow their brains out? I mean, seriously, is it because it's too hard and you can't that'll be what it is. You might need some money, and that money will have to come away from the independence budget. And God help anyone who proposes that in the SNP. She says there's a huge amount of work to be undertaken between now and then. Part of that is really robust community consultation with residents and businesses in the area, all of whom will say no, but it won't make a blind bit of difference, will it? She's also worked through the logistics of how the service will operate. Well, how about not bothering? How about not doing it? And then you don't have to worry about that, and you can concentrate on other things like, fighting the problem, getting people off the products, putting the investment in to improve people's lives to a point where they don't need to take these substances to fill the empty void that you're creating with your policies. Those who currently inject in public spaces are expected to use the facility, but they won't. Miss Whitham said it is to give some dignity back to people, but also to reduce harm. Anyone who yabs a needle into their arm to, inject hopes and dreams and aspirations has already lost all dignity. They can't get it back. The only way they get their dignity back is to stop doing it. Just doing it in a better place or a nicer place doesn't change the fact that they're losers. The UK government has said it is not in favour of these consumption rooms, but despite the Misuse of Drugs Act being reserved to Westminster, the Home Office has indicated it will not stand in the way of a pilot scheme in Glasgow. I think they perhaps should, and they should insist that money is spent on trying to sort the problem out, not encourage it. Anyway, there we go. Elena Whitham pushing for somewhere for these people to go, concentrating all of them in one place, probably going to increase crime, probably going to increase the fear factor, because there'll be children who live nearby, businesses will be affected, so everybody will be sitting there going, please God, no. But the SNP will go, yeah, we've heard you, and we're ignoring you because we can never, ever be wrong. I'm coming up. What they're saying is it's easier to kind of hide the problem than it is to sort the problem. Nobody has the balls to deal with the issue. And that, of course, applies across a great many policies, not just in Scotland, but, of course, across all of politics in Great Britain. There are many different things where they try to hide the problem rather than deal with it. And yet, if they had politicians with balls, they could deal with just about anything. Trouble is, the politicians, A, don't have balls, and B, always think, oh, but there's some people over there, a very much small but very loud minority who might shout at me and call me names. I better not do it. Meanwhile, I'll make the lives of everyone else a complete misery because I am a moral coward. But A, that's not just the SNP, I'm afraid. That's all of them. That's another reason why I loathe politicians. If they actually grew a pair, it would make a change. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you live in that area of Glasgow, up in the East End there, just be aware your lives are about to get so much worse. Till then, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.